You beautiful person, you. Today I'm going to make this about just walking through, a trippy time that I had. I was, at this point in time, I was 15 years old, and I was riding high on the psychedelics, almost every single day, doing whatevers. So at this point in time, me and several friends was out doing our thing when we're tripping, and somebody of our crew was like, hey, there's this stuff called Jimson pods, and over time, we gathered the information about what Jimson weed, Jimson seed, or Jimson. Now, I don't want to go further into it. Anybody can look this up and see that it's not good for you, plain and simple. Do not, whoever you are, go and do this shit. Believe me, it's not fucking worth it. But a lot of people throughout time has taken Jimson to reach a peak in their tripping and their hallucinogenic state, because it brings you close to death. They also call it the heaven or hell drug, depending upon where your mind is sitting and depending upon how many you eat pod wise. Now, to start off the story, I was 15 at the time, and when they found out what these were, they were dead. So we were taking dead Jimson pods, which I found out later on has higher amounts of strychnine in it than the original amount that doesn't have it in it when it is a blossomed weed. And so I was stupid, y'all. So I was already on a trip. I was already doing DXM at the time with a little bit of shrooms and been drinking. And of course, I probably had like 3 or 4 fucking hydrocodones in me going, getting it. Getting gated was my shit back then, son. And just tripping face and hanging out with the boys. You know what I mean? It was great. But here's the thing. So they got me all high after meeting up with the people I met up with, and then they went and dropped me off somewhere else. And I got uberly more out of it, but I still remember everything, but I was out of it in a sense of being able to control the physical me in this body, but I was able to control the physical realm of the veil, of which we do not see. So I went to a buddy's house. They dropped me off there and was like, go there. He'll take care of you. He'll be your tripper for the night. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, when I get there, I had a bike and a Walkman, and I get there, we're hanging out doing stuff. And so I was, I told him I was tripping. He's like, oh, I hate it when you're tripping. I hate it when you're doing this, da-da-da-da-da. And I, talked him out of talked him down from what he was saying. And he was like, yeah, we'll play some video games, do this and do that. Well, we start playing Black. It is a first-person shoot-'em-up game. We're playing it on 360. We kept going back and forth trying to beat a level, and then we try to start playing each other in battle. Well, he starts cooking dinner, and he makes it halfway through from what he was doing in the kitchen, unknown to me. He was just getting everything ready for dinner. And then he was like, you know what, man, because I kept trying to smoke a cigarette, a invisible cigarette at that. And that's one thing that does happen on these types of trips with this drug, is that they're invisible cigarettes. And like, if you're a smoker, it's embedded in your brain that you're smoking a cigarette. But by the time when you get down to a butt, you'll get down to the butt and you'll go to flick it, and before you even get a flick it just disappears. Or you'll go to take it from the last puff, and you'll go to like just inhale, and as soon as you go to inhale, it's gone. And like 5 to 10 to 20 minutes has already passed by the time the cigarette has like disappeared from your hand. Now, so I was in the back of his place as he's fixing the meal. Well, I come out of, my trip that I was in. I was like, man, I'm going to help you, cook, whatever. And he was in a different room beside the kitchen. So you have the kitchen, you have his room, and then you have the garage where I was at. So I come out of the garage all fucked up. I literally, y'all, was like, I'm going to make macaroni and cheese to go with, the meal that we're having. It's going to be amazing. So he's like, yeah, man, he's stoned, we're having fun, whatever. Well, he doesn't check on me for a good, 10 minutes, bro. And there's, kind of like a little sliding door. And he fucking, I guess, from how he explained it, he said he pulled the door open, and there I was, fucking off into space, looking at the wall, with a frying pan, full of water, and the box was on the pan, full of water with nothing else but water in this box. The box was open. The macaroni was dumped in a different pot, okay? Like a whole separate pot. Don't know. Okay? And I'm just doing this. So he was like, man, you need to fucking chill the fuck out. So he gives me, as much stuff as I could take at the time to get me to level out and shit. Kept smoking cigarettes and kept trying to smoke weed and everything else. And it got to a point when I started to go up and fully fucking peak, okay? So we're sitting there and I fully peak, and I'm in his room. It's all black, all dark, bro. And there's just one long fucking window, and it's up at the very top. But how the house was, the light would come in and it would come downwards. So it was coming in and it was going down like this. We're sleeping in this this area right here. So, and I'm sleeping right here. So anytime I rolled over, I would just see this this shadows and light that was reflecting from this downwards fucking window. And I'm sitting here tripping my face off as it's storming and other shit outside. It was about to storm at the time. And finally, after 25 minutes of my friend, because this, I got to go back a little bit. So when I did the macaroni and cheese, he was like, bro, you need to sit the fuck down. Fucking, you need to chill. So I went into the living room, and he gave me bread, he gave me milk, he gave me stuff to soak up whatever I had in my stomach, because I tried to explain to him what was going on and what I was seeing and how fucked up I was and what I did, but I couldn't because I was on a whole nother atmosphere of what I was doing, okay? And so anyway, he makes dinner, okay? And I'm so sorry, Steve. If you ever see this, me and you laugh about it to this day. But I know, bro, when you gave me that plate of food, man, and you sat it down after a half an hour or more trying to make dinner for me, and I freaked out, and I fucking, kicked it and flipped the fuck out. Now, here's the thing. I flipped out because he sets this fucking hamburger helper on my lap, okay? Hot, everything, great, wonderful. Well, there's these neon bulbs that he has with different colors on them, okay, in his living room, and there's nothing else on other than these neon bulbs that are changing random colors at random times. So he sits it down on my lap, and I'm just tripping my balls off to the point I'm seeing all these colors, and then I'm seeing, instead of noodles, instead of the round fat little noodles, they're fucking itty bitty little huge fat fucking maggots, bro. And they're climbing and they're wiggling through this fucking mound of meat. And the meat looks like white and gray all over it. It doesn't look like meat, except for the pink, like when I would poke it with, right before I threw it, when I tried to poke it and bring it up to my mouth to put it in my mouth, as soon as I like went like this and got it into the light, it went like pink, then gray, and then like white. And then that's when I seen like, the fucking maggot part of it, because it was in the meat, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was freaking the fuck out, dude. So I instantly dropped the fork, and I instantly dropped the fork, threw the fucking plate, started screaming at him, and I'm like, dude, why would you cook me maggots? Why would you serve me bad food? It's because I pissed you off, ain't it? That's what he was telling me that I said to him. And so he gets up to the point, like, when we go to bed, man, I'm to that point in that area, I'm seeing all those, like, those fucking shadow figures and everything else in the walls and in the fucking lighting. He finally is like, dude, he gets me up, because subconsciously, I guess, I was waking up after I flipped out and everything and calmed me down, and then I was able to go and sleep. Like, every 20 to 30 minutes, I would wake up, and I would, like, open the door, and then I would walk around his house, talking about nothing, looking at nothing, like, literally fucking gone just gone. And I don't recall it. I have no, like, memory of this, nothing. The only memory I have of this happening when he, like, finally snapped me back into reality is, like, when we were standing in this, like, little hallway of his apartment building, and the hallway goes out to the front door. Well, we're standing in the hallway, and all I could remember is him giving me my bike, him giving me my, everything back, and saying, okay, you gotta go home, bro. You can't stay here if you're going to be getting up every 15 to 20 minutes. I can't deal with this. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I remember sticking my headphones on, and I remember grabbing my Walkman, and I remember just taking off and walking. Like, that's all I remember. Plain and simple. In my head, now, other than leaving, in my mental state, I believe that I left with my bike. In reality, I walked off. In my mind, I rode out on my bike and then was hit by the car in my mind, with the bike. But then later down the line, when I woke back up the next day, and the next day is, okay, so that night when I got on the bike and I walked away, I was walking on the side of the road, and I remember listening to my music, and I remember, like, staring off into space and just looking at the moon. And for any gamer out there, for some reason in my head, like, I had the moon from Zelda, the evil moon, Skull Moon, Skull Kid Moon. That's what it is. I couldn't think of the name. Now, if I'm butchering it, I'm sorry, y'all. That's my favorite game too, and I should know, but it's been a while. Anyway, I kept looking up, and it was the Skull Kid, his head, but then it would flash like a car light, which I think now, after the fact, I think it was a car light. Because when I think about it, I believe back then when I walked out, or like when I thought I was on a bike and I was leaving, and then it went black after following what I'm telling you that I was looking at. The next day I woke up and I still thought I had the bike, but I didn't have the bike on me at all. And still fucking balls to the wall, like crazy shit. So that night that happened, where, like, basically I was walking so far, I was seeing, like, a whole bunch of different, like, trippy things in the moon itself, or, like, different things around me would change. into random ghosts, random like weird, just random creatures. I can't explain it, man. It was like random demons or random. I don't want to say shadow or ghost figures, because it wasn't like that. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like an apparition. It was like a physical holy shit. Like this thing I'm looking at is right here in my face type thing. Um, but over time, I'm guessing my body and my mind just gave out and I blacked out. When I blacked out, I came back to, I had the bike and I thought I had my headphones and everything with me, and I didn't. I didn't have none of that with me. So in my head, when I woke back up, in my head, I believed I had all this stuff, but I didn't. So I'm going on the side of the road because whenever I blacked out and when I believe I got hit by a car, um, after the fact of everything, I believe I was hit by a car that night, but still I don't know because I blacked out and then I just woke up. I don't remember anything, but I walked from one area of where I was living at and where I was dropped off at fucking miles away. Like about 15, 20 miles away. So like I walked for a good like probably 2 to 3 hours without even fucking like knowing where I was going, what I was doing. And then I passed out later on or got hit by a car or something had to have happened for me to get unconscious, but I was able to wake back up the next day. Now, the next day, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, and the next reel will be about the Hat Man, and seeing him and seeing other things that I've seen from this trip. Now, if you like this like little thing, this is a said real thing that happened. I did trip on Jimson weed. I did fucking like almost cook macaroni in a pan, or I did cook macaroni in a pan with it on, in a box full of water. Like, yes, facts, I did that. Am I happy about it? No. The reason why I'm talking about it is to bring awareness of what I'm talking about and understand, like, if me, somebody that is close to my 40s, could find it back then and have so much of a trip to the point where you cannot extinguish what is actually reality and what is a hallucinogen or a hallucinogen or I fucking up my words, guys. Illusion. I can't think of the other word, my bad. Anyway, I can't think proper all the time, motherfuckers. I don't read off of a script. But anyway, in general, I want to bring awareness. Like, if somebody actually finds this, because it's everywhere, just because of my story might be funny, but I had people around me. Think of kids that don't know about this stuff, getting into this stuff, and then eating this stuff. And again, like I said, like, even when it is blossomed, it has cyanide in it. 60% cyanide. When it is fully dead, it has 85 to 90% cyanide in it. So, and that's a live or die situation when you get a big amount of it into your system. So it just depends upon, what the person or how the person's going to react. But I wanted to bring awareness to this because it is not something you want to go do. So please, anybody, if you ever hear of anybody doing Jimson pods, Jimson weed, Jimson in general, like Jimson flower, Jimson anything, stop them. Stop them automatically, man. Do not let them do it, dude. I don't give a fuck who you are, and you think, oh no, it's cool. It's not cool, you dumb fucking piece of shit. So with that one, again, it's a funny story, and I'm going to make number 2. Here in a little bit, I'll make number 2 and walk you down, the point in time, because when you take it, it stays in your system longer than what people see, because it is a highly high hallucinogen. It's not like acid or shrooms where you have to constantly, take it to get a big effect. Like, you take it once, And you can have anywhere from 1 day to 32 fucking hour fucking face melting, burning, talking to people who ain't there, making drug deals in coats that no one is in. You know, this shit's real. So other than that, you have a wonderful day. Say the positive, never to the negative. Always remember that. Go out today, baby. You play. You only get one life to live. You better live it for today. Peace.